Football is not just a sport or a game, it is an emotion. Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. Get ready to hop on the feelings train as we are talking about the top 10 emotional moments in football. Number 10, emotions were higher than Snoop in 2017 when during a friendly match, a young Dutch player by the name of Abdelak Nodi, known to his fans as Appy, suddenly collapsed on the ground due to cardiac arrest. The first aid medic got to the ground in 17 seconds. As a result of the cardiac arrest, the promising midfielder of Ajax suffered permanent and severe brain damage and would most likely never play football ever again. This news broke everyone, not only in the Dutch land, but also the rest of the football world was shattered to a million pieces. Thousands of people, including players and staff, came together in front of his house to show their support for the fighting Dutchman and to his family. That day, football fans all over the world were in sync with each other like never before. Number 9. If you thought you could hold your tears for that, well, you better open up the dam because here come the waterworks. Losing a parent is something no one can ever prepare you for. In 2008, the Chelsea midfielder Frank Lampard's mother passed away. He decided to play in the second leg of Chelsea's UEFA Champions League semi-final against Liverpool. During the 98th minute of extra time, he confidently scored what was an emotional penalty, and while doing his signature celebration, he took off his Chelsea shirt to reveal another plain t-shirt with a picture of his mother on it. What was even more emotional was that his father was in the stands cheering his son on. Rest in peace, Pat Lampard. You have raised him right. Number 8. There's a saying that no parent should outlive their child. While many of us children and young adults may not agree with this statement, it is sadly true. In 2022, Manchester United superstar Cristiano Ronaldo had twins, but it wasn't all happy news. It is with our deepest sadness we have to announce that our baby boy has passed away. It is the greatest pain that any parents can feel. Only the birth of our baby girl gives us strength to live this moment with some hope and happiness. Our baby boy, you are our angel. We will always love you. One day after this statement was released, Manchester United was playing Liverpool. Ronaldo didn't play in that match, but in the 7th minute, the Liverpool fans stood up to show their support and love for the living legend. Now that is raw and infinite compassion for the sport and its players. Number 7. During the Euro 2020, Denmark played their first match against Finland. 41 minutes into the match, and Danish midfielder Christian Eriksen collapsed, and people instantly knew something was wrong as it felt like a heavy fall. He had just suffered a cardiac arrest. The cheering Danish fans instantly started to tear up as they witnessed their star midfielder battle for his life. The Danish captain Simon Kjær attended to his player and removed his tongue to ensure that Eriksen's airways were unobstructed. While he was lying on the ground, Eriksen's teammates surrounded him, blocking the visuals of the cameras on orders of the Danish captain until the first medics arrived. Kjær also consoled the wife of Eriksen, Sabrina, while the medical team attended to him. 15 minutes after collapsing, he was rushed to the hospital where he received immediate surgery. Thankfully, he survived and posted a selfie post-surgery to let his fans know he was doing fine and would live to fight another day. He returned to action 8 months later. Now that is one tough Viking. Number 6. When you talk about tough men, you can't just leave out the mastermind of a man, Andrea Pirlo, known as the architect for creating brilliant and strategic plays and opportunistic goal-scoring ability. Having achieved and won everything in football that most men only dare dream of, there was still one thing left to win: the UEFA Champions League. But that was not meant to be. On 6th June 2015, Pirlo played the entire match representing Juventus for the final time against Barcelona in the final of the UEFA Champions League, but lost the match 3-1. Barcelona denied Pirlo the Champions League title. Now, Pirlo is as tough as they come, seldom showing any emotions on the field, even after winning the World Championship in 2006. But even the maestro couldn't hold his tears back from being unleashed after this devastating loss. Not all the stories have a fairy tale ending, but they do end leaving you satisfied and with a smile on your face, even if they have tears rolling down your face. While sometimes things aren't meant to be, sometimes things are meant to be. There's a reason why the 2022 FIFA World Cup has been one of the best World Cups, filled with all sorts of emotions and new records. This is one of those records. Morocco took the turn being an underdog to new heights when it reached the quarterfinals after defeating Spain. Once in the quarterfinals, they had a chance to once again defy all odds and expectations and create history at the World Cup. And they did just that by defeating Portugal and knocking them out of the World Cup. Sorry guys, this one is a little bit more emotional. Morocco became the first ever African and Arab country ever to enter the semi-finals of a FIFA World Cup. Now that is a proud moment for the Moroccan and African nation and the continent. Number 4. Sometimes things are meant to be, but they get robbed from you. The 2010 FIFA World Cup quarterfinals match between Uruguay and Ghana was an action-packed, dramatic play of 90 minutes. After 90 minutes, both teams were tied 1-1. Back then, Ghana was on the verge of making history as being the first African nation to qualify for the semi-finals in a World Cup. In extra time, Ghana earned and sent a free kick to the penalty area, but it was blocked. On the rebound, Ghanaian player Dominic Adaya hit a header and the ball was on the cusp of heading into the net. Just when it seemed like Ghana might pull off the upset of the century and head into the semis, instead, Uruguay pulled off the heist of the century. Luis Suarez, the Uruguayan striker, blocked the ball, this time with his hands, immediately earning himself a red card and was sent off. This defense resulted in a travesty as the match was won by Uruguay in the penalty shootout 4-2. Uruguay and Suarez in particular instantly became the villains. Fans also started to call them cheats while labeling the play as injustice. Karma soon caught up with Uruguay as they lost the semi-final courtesy of the Dutchman. Number 3. When it comes to emotion, no player has more passion and dedication to their craft than Leo Messi. In 2021, Messi's contract with Barcelona was up, and although both sides had reached an agreement and wanted to remain together, it was just not possible. The legendary Spanish club could not sign the Argentine to a new contract even if they wanted to, due to financial restructuring. Simply put, they did not have enough money to sign Messi to a new contract and continue to pay him at the same time. And so, the 7-time Ballon d'Or winner had no other choice but to say goodbye in a heartfelt press conference to the club that he played at for 21 years, to the club that gave the young Argentinian kid the opportunity of a lifetime and molded him into the man he is today. That speech had every man, child, or human being that has seen him take off the red and blue uniform since his senior debut crying their eyes out. Yeah, this is exactly how all of us felt when we saw that farewell speech from the world champion. This is making me want to cry. Excuse me while you check out the next entry on this list. Number 2. FIFA World Cups are and always have been emotional. The 2022 FIFA World Cup has been especially emotional when you talk about emotion in the context of football. One of the recent photos that might come to mind is this. This picture went insanely viral after Portugal was knocked out of the 2022 World Cup in the quarterfinals at the hands of Morocco. The Portugal forward was seen crying his eyes out in the tunnel, but he wasn't crying alone. Millions of fans all around the world were crying with him. Now, those who watch football casually would think, sure, he got eliminated, but there's always next time. Well, that seems highly unlikely. The 38-year-old living legend has realized that his time playing football is almost up, and thus this was probably his last shot at the most prestigious title in the sport. What puts the fans through all sorts of emotions even more so is the fact that he wasn't even announced in the playing 11 for the quarterfinal. He was benched by the Portugal manager Ronaldo Santos and announced as a substitute, meaning he didn't even get to play one last full match at the World Cup stage. While every one of us had a childhood dream of getting to see CR7 pick up that beautiful golden trophy, some things just aren't meant to be. Number 1. It seems like Messi knows how to make us emotional. And what moment can be more emotional than seeing the most famous man on the planet finally holding the most famous trophy? Everyone, including Messi, had dreamed of this moment ever since his debut, but even as far as dreams go, it felt like such a far-fetched fairy tale. The stage is set, the final of the 2022 FIFA World Cup between France and Argentina. Fast forward to the end of the match. When Colomouani dribbled down the field and attempted that shot toward the end of the match, he almost single-handedly shattered all those dreams for us. Fortunately, Martinez didn't let that happen, and following the penalty shootout, when the smoke and dust cleared, Argentina emerged victorious, clinching what was rightfully theirs and ours as fans, the golden trophy. This picture is the most liked picture on Instagram right now, and why wouldn't it be? It's so beautiful. So that's it for today for our top 10 most emotional moments in football. What do you think of the list? Did we leave a moment out? Sound off in the comments below.